So the flow for today is definitely going to get heavily into the hips, so have that in mind. We're going to take this toward Firefly or Tittibhasana, if you know the pose by the Sanskrit name. I'm going to stick to Firefly just because it's a little bit easier to say. But this is going to take a lot of opening the hips to definitely get to the inner thighs, into the hamstrings quite a bit as well, and just kind of be ready for that and just take things as far as you can go. It just sets a direction for us to get toward the pose, keep in mind. I have two demonstrations before we begin. So once we get in the main part of the flow, we're going to start this in down dog, and the first thing we're going to do is take this through a series of frog hops, taking this back and forth. Now there's a few ways to do this, keep in mind. So you're going to start from here. You're going to take a deep inhale. With the exhale, bend the knees, look forward, and then you're going to hop this forward. Now you can keep this down low. So if you want to just keep it mellow, press your hands, hop forward, land on your toes, and just land with your knees wide, land light rather, and be ready to move. So you want to land and feel kind of springy here. You're not setting your feet flat on the floor. You should have no risk of shin splints, keep in mind. And part of what we're doing here is just warming up the hips and getting used to putting more weight on the hands. You're going to step it back right away. Each round is going to be 3 times. If you want to take it up higher, again, deep inhale. With the exhale, bend to the knees, look forward, hop this forward, and land this light. And if you want to take this even further, you can go to the other extreme and take this toward inversion, where you stack your hips over your shoulders. Pay attention that you're not going to kick anything around you, that your surroundings are safe. But this is still the same thing. Deep inhale. With the exhale, bend to the knees, look forward, hop forward. And it's even more important here to press down and land this as lightly and as silently as you can. And then after that third hop, we'll move into the sequence. So just have that in mind. That's how we're going to begin the flow from here. Now at the end of the sequence, you're going to be back to the front of the mat. You're going to come almost into this shape that I'm in already and take this into a flattened version of crow. And the reason I'm going to cue it this way is to really start working the inner thighs, work some tension there, because that's going to help you once we come toward Firefly, toward the end of class. So you're going to have both hands down. Dig your fingertips down in crow, just like always. And then bring the knees outside your upper arms rather than on top of your arms. So you're going to have your knees out wide. Squeeze them in right away. Look forward, lean forward, keep that tension in your inner thighs. And maybe just come into the center of the pose. You can just hold here, and this is fine. Move to the Vinyasa when you're ready. If you're going to balance it, lean forward to lift your feet together. Big toes to touch. And then when your body flattens out, see about squeezing in to lift your hips up and down, even just a little bit. And if you're able to take this more aggressively, you may be able to squeeze in and change the position of these all together and bring yourself up higher. Work things as best you can, and we'll take it to the Vinyasa from there. So just have that in mind. So to get started here, let's start this seated. Let's begin in a cross-legged seat. So it's going to be right leg in first, left leg in front. And if you want to take a more formal seated posture, feel free. But be sure you can sit this upright. Now, if your hips are tight and the knees are pretty high up off the floor, I'm going to recommend you slide the feet forward a little bit, maybe bring the knees out wider. And keep in mind, the whole purpose here, what makes this easier, is the ability to tilt your pelvis forward so you can hold your spine upright without a whole lot of effort. Now, keep your core engaged. Pull into the belly from in and around the low ribs. You can have your hands at your sides, keep in mind, for support, or otherwise bring your arms to your lap with your palms facing up. Now keep your spine tall. Reach the crown of the head straight up. Bring your chin in a bit. Relax the shoulders down. And then just close your eyes. So just give yourself a moment to settle in here like this. Let your mind quiet down. And then just start to deepen your breathing here. So with the inhales, pull in as much as you can. Try to fill up your lungs and hold on to all that breath at the top. When you exhale, constrict the back of your throat. So slow your breath down on the way back out. And just work to make your exhales last at least as long as your inhales as you breathe. And then when you're ready here, take a deep inhale. And then when you exhale, just open your eyes. And then set your hands down behind you, lean back, reverse the cross your legs. Left leg in first, right leg in front. And again, bring this toward upright. Let's just take it slowly here to begin. When you're ready, with an inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Inhale, reach us up high again. Exhale, hands through center. Inhale, arms up high. Exhale through center again. Inhale, reaches up high. And then with the exhale this time, lean to the right side. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches right. Stretch out long, bring your gaze up high and just breathe. With your next inhale, bring it back up the center, reach up. And then with the exhale, lean left. Left hand down, right arm reaches left. Stretch this out long, gaze up high and just breathe with this here. With your next inhale, bring it back upright. And then with the exhale, bring the hands down through center. Set your hands behind you, lean back. I'm going to take this into a twist in the Lord of the Fishes. So bring the right heel outside your left hip and step your left foot outside your right thigh. Now give yourself a moment to set this up as you cross your legs. If your hips are tight, you can always extend the right leg, the bottom leg straight with your left leg crossed. Now when you're ready, set the left hand down behind you and keep in mind we're going to take this back and forth a bit. So with an inhale, reach the right arm high. And then with the exhale, bring the right elbow past your left thigh. Inhale, come back to center, reach that right arm up again. And then with the exhale, come back to the twist, right elbow past your left thigh. Inhale, turn to center, reach up through the right arm. And then with the exhale, one more time, come into the twist. Now we're going to hold it a little bit longer. So press the right arm into your left leg. Keep the crown of your head reaching toward the ceiling. Stay tall, look back over your left shoulder. And just breathe deeply here as you twist. Take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, just release this. Both hands behind you. Lean back, reverse the cross your legs. Left heel outside the right hip, right foot outside your left thigh. And again, take a moment just to set this up and sit yourself upright. And you can always extend the left leg forward. When you're ready, set the right hand down behind you. With your next inhale, reach your left arm high. And then with the exhale, move into the twist. Left elbow past your right thigh. Inhale, turn to center, reaches up high. And then with the exhale, twist again. Left elbow past your right thigh. Inhale back to center. Reach your left arm up. And then with the exhale, come into the twist one more time and take it deeper. Now keep the top of the head reaching straight up. Look back over the right shoulder. Use your left arm. Press it to the right leg. Keep breathing here. And then take an inhale. And with the exhale, just release your twist. Both hands down behind you. Lean back, uncross the legs. And then just roll forward your hands, bring this into all fours and move around. So go ahead, stretch your hands, stretch your fingers, let your shoulders and hips move side to side and just feel things out. Loosen up your spine. And just notice where you're loose and where you're tight. Now when you're ready, just bring it into center in all fours. Rotate the shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and look down at your hands. Now keep the palms facing down and rotate your hands. Fingertips out to the sides. Point your fingertips in toward your knees or come as far in that direction as you can. And set your hands down flat. Spread your fingers out wide. Grip the floor with your fingertips. Keep your hands active the whole time. Press your spine up toward the ceiling and try to keep your shoulder blades spread apart. Now just hold on to that stretch here. Keep your hands tense. And then if you want to take it deeper, straight arms. Start to slide the knees back, maybe just a little bit, maybe a lot, but keep your hands flat on the floor. And that could be enough. If you want to take this even further, then just step the right foot straight back, big toe to the floor. And then open up your hips. Stack the right hip above the left. Bring that big toe over to your left side. And keep the shoulders square to the front. Just feel this as more of a twist. And then go ahead, bring that right knee down if it's lifted. Do the same on the other side. Left foot straight back, big toe down to the floor. Now bring your left big toe past the right edge as much as you can. Try to stack that left hip above the right and keep digging into your fingertips here. And then bring this back to center, both knees down. Walk the knees back in, come up onto your fingertips, and let's take one more stretch for the hands. So walk the hands in, maybe about one hand's length in front of your knees. Flip your hands over, backs of the hands down, palms facing up, fingertips pointing toward you. Now set your hands down flat, spread the fingers out wide, press your fingertips down just like you did when the palms were down, so like you're clawing down with the backs of your hands. And you can shift the weight forward to your hands and make this more intense, or you can bring the weight to your legs and go lighter on the hands, but keep the tension in your hands. Now as you hold on to this, still keep your spine rounded. Keep it and keep the shoulder blades spread apart. And I'll turn toward the camera to make this a little bit more clear, but if you want to take this further, we're going to use some compression rather than just lengthening out through the lower body. So as you press down to the fingertips, lift the right knee up toward the right shoulder. Try to set the heel down outside the right hand. And then bring the right knee back to the floor. And then see about lifting your left knee toward the left shoulder. Try to bring the heel down outside your left hand. And then set the left knee down. And then again, lift the right leg, bring the heel to the floor. Set the knee back down. You're still pressing to the fingertips. Lift the left knee and set the heel down. And then come back to center. We'll take one more round. Lift the right knee, bring the heel to the floor. And then come back to center with both knees down. Lift the left knee, bring the heel to the floor. And then set your left knee down. And then when you're ready, just come up onto the fingertips, down to sitting on your heels, and take a moment. Shake your hands out, loosen up your fingers, and loosen up your wrists. And then come back to all fours, and we'll start to light the hips up here. So wrists underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips to set this up. Now just keep your gaze long, gaze down, and keep your spine long. So reach your crown of the head straight forward. So you're not hanging your head toward the floor. Keep in mind, really reach forward through the top of your head and keep your spine lifted. Now as you hold on to this, shift the weight to the left knee, hover the right, but keep the right leg bent and keep that leg tense. Now right knee out to the side as high as you can lift. And then fold the right leg back in. Right knee to the side, high as you can lift. Fold the leg back in. Right knee out to the side again. Now keep it lifted like this and keep the toes pointed right to start. Keep your chest facing down. Now try to hold the right knee where it is in space, but pivot from the right hip, bring the big toe down toward the floor. Pivot from the hip and lift the foot. Pivot from the hip, bring the big toe down. Pivot from the hip to lift, and I know what a pain this is. Pivot from the hip, bring the big toe down. Pivot from the hip to lift. The toes are still pointed right. And then with an inhale, extend your right leg straight back. Exhale, bring it forward, knee to right shoulder. Inhale the right leg back again. Exhale forward, knee to right shoulder. Inhale the right leg back one more time. Now keep that right leg extended and keep the toes pointed to the side. We're going to take this to a modified side plank. So slide your left hand just a little bit further left and then put your weight to the left hand. Come up onto the fingertips of the right. Now maybe stay here and this is good enough. Keep the hips stacked. If you can take it further, maybe lift the right hand up and bring it to your right hip. This is good enough. If you want to go further still, maybe reach that right arm high. Now, if you want to take it even further, you can take hold of the right knee with the right hand, try to point that toward the ceiling, or maybe reach for the right big toe and extend that leg up and to the side. Lots of options here. From wherever you are, release and come back down. Come back to all fours. And once you're back in all fours, just take a moment here, move around. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees under your hips, keep your gaze down, keep your spine long, and really stretch forward through the top of your head. Put the weight to the right knee this time. Hover your left knee, keep the left leg tense, and keep the knee bent. Now left knee to the side as high as you can lift, and then fold the left leg back in. Left knee to the side, high as you can lift. Fold that leg back in. Left knee to the side, high as you can lift. Now keep it here and keep the toes pointed left. Keep your chest facing down. Now try to keep that left knee where it is in space, but pivot from the left hip, bring the big toe down to the floor. Pivot from the hip to lift. Pivot from the hip, big toe comes down. Pivot from the hip to lift. Pivot from the hip, big toe comes down. Pivot from the hip to lift. The toes are still pointed left. With an inhale, extend that left leg straight back. Exhale, knee to left shoulder, pull it in close. Inhale the left leg back again. Exhale, knee to left shoulder. Inhale the left leg back one more time. Now keep that left leg extended, keep the toes pointed to the side. And we'll take that modified side plank. So slide the right hand just a little bit further right. And then come up onto the fingertips of your left hand. Now keep the hips stacked, left above right. This is good enough. If you can go further, maybe bring that left hand to your left hip. Maybe reach your left arm high. Now, there's always somewhere else to go. If you want to take it further, maybe hold your left knee pointed up. Maybe hold the left big toe and extend up and to the side. And then from wherever you are, bring it back down, come back to all fours. And from all fours, just move around for a moment here, and you probably want to loosen up the hips just a little bit further. All right, when you're ready, from all fours, go ahead and crawl this forward. Bring the knees behind your wrists. And then go ahead and bring the knees a little bit wider and point the big toes in toward each other. Come down to sitting on your heels. Now we're setting this up for a bridging variation here. So when we do this, keep in mind, you need to engage this properly. You need to kick your feet down into the floor and squeeze your glutes as you press your hips up and forward. And if you're not really doing that, you're not going to get a whole lot out of this. So keep that in mind. So hands behind the shoulders about shoulder width. Try to stay light in your hands on your fingertips. You can set the palms down if you need to. But then keep the shoulders pulled back. Now when you're ready, with an inhale, kick into the floor, squeeze your glutes, let your head fall back as you lift. And then with the exhale, bring this back down. Inhale, kick into the floor, lift your hips. And then bring this back down. Inhale, bring your hips up high. Squeeze your glutes as much as you can. Exhale, bring it back down. And then inhale, lift like this one more time. Hold here. Now, keep your hips lifting, kick into the floor, stay light in your hands. And then slowly bring this back down. Now I want to take it side to side. Left hand stays down. With an inhale, sweep your right arm left as you lift. Let your head fall back. And then with the exhale, come back down. And then inhale, sweep your left arm right, open up. Exhale, bring this down. Inhale, sweep the right arm left again. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, sweep your left arm right. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, sweep the right arm left. Now hold here. Now keep kicking down, keep your glutes squeezing, reach long through that right arm. And if you can take it further, as the right arm stretches long, kick into your right foot, try to hover the right knee up off the floor. And then slowly bring this back down. Once you're ready, take it the other way. Inhale and sweep your left arm right, hold here. Kick into the floor, squeeze your glutes, stretch long, let your head fall back. As you reach with the left arm, kick into your left foot, try to hover the left knee. And then slowly bring this back down. Once you're down, bring your hands down in front of you. Come back into all fours. From all fours, take a moment here. Again, move around, loosen up your low back. Let your hips move side to side, maybe twist a little bit. And then once you're ready, just keep your hands down on the mat about shoulder width. Spread your fingers wide, dig your fingertips down, come up onto your toes. Lift your knees. And then keep your knees bent, but walk your feet forward. We're going to take this into that crow setup that I showed you before. Now, not exactly crow. I want you to lift your heels, bring the knees outside your upper arms, and lean forward and look forward here as you grip the floor. Now, we're going to walk this shape from here. Use the tension of the inner thighs. Keep the legs squeezing in. Now, just lift your hands about an inch up off the floor. You're still on your toes. And then bring the hands forward and hop your feet forward a couple inches. And just walk this to the front of the mat. Now you may be close to the front and not need to take this too far, but then bring it backwards. Pressing your hands, let your toes go back a couple inches. And keep your legs squeezing in. Just feel this out and shift your weight from the hands to the feet. And just a few inches each time. And then once you make it all the way to the back of the mat, it should be a few steps. Set your heels down flat, and let's take this into a deep squat. So feet about hips width distance apart. Maybe you go wider, maybe no more narrower, probably heels and toes out. But keep your heels down on the floor, bring your hips down low. And if your hips are tight, just keep them about knee level, and this is fine. Thighs toward parallel with the floor. You can always bring your elbows to your thighs. If you can take it down deeper, go ahead, sink down low, and play around with your position here. If you don't come in with squat too often, you're going to have to feel this out, and this looks different from one body to the next. Now, however far you took this, go ahead and bring your fingertips down to the floor in front of you. Lift your hips just a little bit so you can bounce and move from this position. And the toes are going to stay where they are. Now, when you're ready for me, just walk your hands forward, lift your heels, stretch this out long, touch your knees down. And then walk all the way back. Come back into that squat and set your feet down flat. Again, like that. Bring your hands down, walk this forward, stretch out long, touch your knees down to the floor. Walk it all the way back in and bring your hips down low. Hands to the floor. Walk this forward, stretch this out long. Come back into center, back to that squat. And we're going to keep moving, but this time we'll take it side to side. So walk this over to the right, touch your knees down low. And then bring it back into center here. And then walk it out over your left side again. And then bring it back into center. Bring it forward, stretch out long, come over to the right. And then come back into center with the heels down. And then walk it forward to the left side again. And bring it back to center with the heels on the ground. One more round. Bring it over to the right again. Stretch this out long. And then come back into center. And then one more time. Walk this out to your left side. Bring it back into center here. Settle in low. And then once you're back at center, hands down, hips up high. And just shake out your legs and breathe here. Let go of any of that burn, which you should be feeling. That's the whole purpose, keep in mind. Now you can just stay here and relax and breathe and stay loose. You can take another stretch if you like. And if you're ready to move on, your hips are already high. See about walking your hands forward and just bring yourself into downward facing dog. Now once you come into down dog, just take a look at how you set this up. Hands about shoulder width distance apart. Now set your palms down flat, flatten your hands so you can feel the weight moving toward the base of your thumbs. And sink your chest down low. Now even as your chest sinks down, press your hips up as high as you can toward the ceiling. And with that reach, really lengthen out your upper body. One long line from the wrist creases through the hips. Now keep some tension in your core through the belly, around the low ribs. Keep your hips pressing high. And if your legs are tight, if your hamstrings are tight, keep it bent in the knees. You can always just pedal this out and stay loose and just move your hips from side to side. Now when you're ready here, take an inhale. And then with the exhale, bend into the knees, look forward, step this to the front of the mat. Let's take a ragdoll fold.
So feet about hips width distance apart, deep bend in the knees. Let your belly touch your thighs. Let your head hang, let your spine round. Let everything go long and loose here. Let the muscles in your neck relax. Now you can hang your hands to the floor. You can reach to opposite elbows if you like, and maybe shake this side to side to loosen further. And then from wherever you are, go ahead, release any grip you have. Keep the bend in the knees to begin, but then restack your spine. So slowly roll this up to standing. Bring your head up last. And then just open up your palms at your sides. Now when you're ready here, with an inhale, reach your arms up high. And then with the exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Take a moment here to breathe, set an intention. Let your mind clear, find your focus. Take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, just release your hands. Now with your next inhale, reach your arms up high. And then with the exhale, slowly fold this forward. Hand at the hips, start with a straight spine, put a little bend in your knees. Keep your core engaged, move smoothly, and then release this at the bottom. Now with an inhale, lift up halfway, fingertips still forward to the shins, lengthen forward to the crown of your head. And then with the exhale, bring your hands to the mat and step this back to high plank. Find your shape here. Wrists under the shoulders, palms pressed down to the floor. Press the floor away from you. Press your spine up toward the ceiling. Keep your core engaged. Draw the belly around the little ribs. Now when you're ready from here, take an inhale. And then with the exhale, slowly bring your shoulders forward as the elbows bend. Now keep your body in line, elbows pulled into your sides, and lower with control all the way down to your belly. Once you're down, flatten the feet out behind you. Hands under the shoulders, elbows into your sides. And we're going to take this up and down through low cobra. So with an inhale, just peel up your head, neck, and chest. Exhale, roll this back down. Inhale, peel this up again. Exhale, roll back down. Inhale, peel up one more time. Now just stay lifted. Now keep the lift in your upper body. Press into your feet. Take some or all the weight out of your hands. Elbows at your sides. Pull the shoulders back. Keep your gaze forward. And then work to lift this up just a little bit higher. Take an inhale. With the exhale, roll back down. Now hands under the shoulders, elbows into your sides, press the palms down to the mat. And we're going to take this to upward facing dog. So when you're ready, with an inhale, straighten your arms. Now pull your chest forward, let your hips hang, stay on the tops of your feet in this position. Keep your legs active, work to lift the knees up from the mat. Take it further, kick your feet down, squeeze your glutes, try to pull the hips forward to deepen and lengthen the arc. Lift with your arms, lift with your shoulders, make your neck long, try to pull your chest forward as much as you can. Take an inhale. And then with the exhale, pull your belly and bring your hips up high, back to down dog. Now paddle out for a moment, let your hips move side to side. Now from downward facing dog, inhale the right leg high behind you. And with your right leg lifted, move into a scorpion dog. So bend the right knee, hang the right foot left, reach the right foot toward the floor. Open up your hips. With your next inhale, straighten the right leg, three-legged dog. And then with the exhale, bring that foot down. Now on the other side, with your next inhale, raise your left leg high. Bend your left knee, hang the left foot right, move into that scorpion dog. Reach the left big toe toward the floor, open up your hips. Inhale, straighten your left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring that foot down, back to down dog. Now from here, I'm going to take it into the frog hop. So again, there's going to be 3. Press in your hands. You can go high or low, but land this lightly and land on your toes. Take an inhale. With the exhale, bend the knees. Look forward, hop this forward. And then step it back, hips go high. 2 more times, take an inhale. Exhale, bend your knees. Look forward, hop this forward. And step it back, hips high. 1 more time, take an inhale. Exhale, bend your knees. Look forward, hop this forward. And this time, stay at the front of your mat. Now, I want to take this into balancing. Bring the right foot between your hands. That's going to be your base foot. Bend into the right knee. Pull the left knee to your chest and around your spine. Take hold of the left knee with both hands. And let's bring this all the way up to standing. Now, take it slow. Dig into the right big toe. Slow your breathing down. And then once you're ready, bring your hands to your low back. Now palms open, fingers spread wide, pull the shoulders back and keep your elbows wide. And we're going to take this to a warrior 3. Now go slow, put a little behind the right knee, and then hinge from the right hip. As your torso comes forward, extend your left leg straight back, bring your body into line. Maybe you stay a little bit higher, or maybe you come down toward parallel with the floor. Try to keep your hips level. Now slowly, with an inhale, bring this up to vertical with your left knee high. And keep your balance here. We're going to take a standing twist. Release your right hand. And then bring the right hand to the outside of your left knee. Now stay tall. Pull your left shoulder back. Open your chest up to the left side. And this is good enough right here. If you want to go deeper, you can reach your right hand to the outside edge of the left foot. Maybe extend that left leg forward. Just take things to where you can and keep yourself upright. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale, slowly turn back to center. Left knee lifted, both hands to your low back again. Now come back to that warrior three. Bend the right knee. Hinge to the right hip. Extend your left leg straight back. Bring your body toward parallel with the floor. And then from wherever you took this to, stay low, but bend to the right knee. Set the left foot down behind you, and we're going to take this into a high lunge stance. So stay on the toes, left foot, the heel lifted behind. Adjust the stance as you need to. So again, it's going to be a nice long stance, but still hips with distance. So feet side to side on two separate tracks. Deep end of the right knee, left leg towards straight. Pull the left hip forward and the right hip back. Keep your shoulders pulled back, keep your spine tall. I'm going to take this into the back leg, so take an inhale here. Now with the exhale, dip low into that left knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower again. Inhale, straighten. Now exhale, lower one more time. Hover the left knee, stay tall, shoulders pulled back. We're going to pulse from here. Bring that left knee up and down on my count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left knee down, left foot flat behind. Release your left hand, bring it to the floor inside your right leg. Now we're taking this toward a half split variation here, so just feel this out to start. Belly to your right thigh, start moving the hips forward and back. And then start to bring this into position. So you're going to walk that right foot toward the upper right corner of the mat and just take this bit by bit to feel the stretch in the back of the right leg. Whenever you're ready, press into the right heel, point the toes up toward the ceiling. And then maybe you hold on to this with a bend in the right knee, and that's fine if your hamstrings are tight. Maybe you're able to do this with a straight leg. Try to keep your belly touching your thigh here to start. And if you just want to hold on to the stretch, keep it here and draw the right shoulder back. Now, if you can move with this, press into the right heel. Walk your left hand in, bring your torso upright, so everything from the left knee on up stacks to vertical, and reach your left arm high. Now root down to the right foot. Right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale, hinge from the hips, reach your left arm back, fold halfway down. Inhale, come up all the way. Exhale, hinge forward and look forward. Inhale, bring this all the way upright. Exhale, hinge forward again. Inhale, bring this all the way up. Exhale, hinge forward one more time. Stay here. Now press into the right heel. Bring the left hand to the floor inside the right leg. And then draw the right shoulder back. Move into that twist. Touch your belly to the right thigh, even if you got to bend the right knee. Feel that stretch on the back of the right leg. Keep that right hip pulling back. Now, if you want to go deeper, you can bend the left elbow, maybe bring that forearm to the floor. If you want to go deeper still, you can reach the left hand to the outside edge of the right foot and pull your torso forward as you're twisting, lifting that right shoulder up to the side. And just breathe here. There's definitely a balancing element to this. When you're ready, take an inhale. Now with the exhale, both hands down around the right leg. Set your right foot flat. Tuck the toes, left foot, lift your left knee, come into low lunge. Now I take this to side plank. Left hand's your base. Roll to the outside edge of the left foot. Slide your right foot back. Now, maybe the right foot stays down, maybe your left knee comes down, maybe you stack your legs. Whatever keeps your hips lifted, but keep everything stacked to the side. Right arm reaches high. Now you can hold like this, and this is good enough. We're just going to stay balancing. If you want to take it further, maybe lift the right leg off the left. If you want to go further, you can hold the right knee with the right hand, or maybe reach for the big toe and try to extend that leg higher still. Now from wherever you are, take an inhale. And then with the exhale, right hand comes forward, right foot steps forward. Bring your left foot forward next to the right, forward fold. When you're ready from here, take an inhale, lift it up halfway. And then with the exhale, set the hands. We're going to take that flattened crow. So palms down, grip the floor with your fingers, lift your heels, and bring the knees outside your arms. Now squeeze the legs in, start to look forward, start to lean, bring your shoulders forward. You can just stay here. If you're going to balance it, lean forward, try to lift your feet together, big toes to touch. And then from here, as you flatten out, squeeze through the inner thighs, see about lifting and lowering the hips. And just take that to where you like. Move through your vinyasa when you're ready. Once you find your down dog, give yourself a moment, paddle out. We're going to take all that to the other side. So from downward facing dog, inhale your left leg high. With your left leg lifted, open to your scorpion dog. Bend the left knee, hang the left foot right, reach the left big toe toward the floor. Feel the twist. With your next inhale, straighten your left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, set the left foot down next to the right. Now inhale the right leg up high. And then bend the right knee, move into that scorpion dog. Hang the right foot left, reach the right big toe toward the floor. Open that hip. With your next inhale, square your hips, three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot comes down next to left. Now from down dog, look forward toward your hands, pressing your palms, take an inhale. With the exhale, bend the knees, look forward, hop this forward. Land on your toes, land light, step it back 2 more times. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, hop this forward. And again, step it back, hips high. 1 more time, take an inhale. With the exhale, bend the knees, look forward, hop forward. Now this time, stay at the front of the mat. Left foot's going to be your base. Step the left foot down between your hands. Bend the left knee, round your spine, pull the right knee to your chest. Take hold of that right knee with both hands. And let's round this all the way up to standing. Now give yourself a moment to feel this out here. Root into that left big toe, slow your breathing down. And then once you're ready, keep the knee lifted, but bring your hands to your low back, palms facing away. Fingers spread wide, elbows stay wide, shoulders pulled back, keep your chest open. Now take this to your warrior 3. Put a bend in the left knee. Hinge from the left hip, extend your right leg straight back, bring your lifted body in line. Maybe you stay more upright, maybe bring things down toward parallel to the floor, but try to keep the hips level. And then hinge from that left hip. Come back up with the right knee high. Now once you balance here, just release your left hand. Take hold of the outside of the right knee. And then move into your standing twist. Draw the right shoulder back and open your chest to the right side. Good enough like this. Now if you want to take this further, reach that left hand to the outside edge of the right foot. Maybe extend that left leg. But again, stay upright, keep your twist. Still balancing. Turn back to center. Right knee lifted, hands behind your low back again. Shoulders pulled back, elbows wide. Come back into that warrior 3. Bend the left knee a little bit. Hinge from the left hip. Extend the right leg straight back. Bring your body into line. Come as close to parallel with the floor as you can. Now keep your shoulders pulled back and come down lower. Bend your left knee. And with that right foot back, go ahead, step it back with the heel lifted. And come back up into your high lunge stance. Take a moment to adjust. So feet about hips width distance side to side. Deep bend the left knee, right leg towards straight. Right hip pulls forward, left hip back. Keep your shoulders pulled back and keep your spine tall. Let's take it to the back leg. Take an inhale. With the exhale, dip low into that right knee. Now inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower 1 more time and hover here. Keep your spine tall. And then just pulse into that right knee from here. On my count, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right knee down. Right foot flat behind. Keep your hips stacked over the right knee. And then bring that right hand down inside your left leg. Now, again, it's a half split variation. Lift your left shoulder, just move forward and back. Try to touch your belly to your left thigh and just feel this out. Now start walking your left foot toward the upper left corner of the mat. Take it to where you can. If your hamstrings are tight, you're not going to go too far. But once you're ready, press into your left heel, point your toes up toward the ceiling while you're folded like this. And if you just want to hold this, just stay in this shape. Draw that left shoulder back and pull the left hip back. Now, if the knee can be bent, the leg can be straight, whatever you like. If you want to move with this, walk your right hand in, bring your torso upright. Left arm still bound, but right arm reaching high. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward, and then take an inhale. Now at the exhale, hinge forward halfway. Reach that right arm back. Inhale, come up all the way. Exhale, hinge forward, look forward. Inhale, bring it all the way up again. Exhale, hinge forward, press into that left heel, pull that left hip back. Inhale, come upright. 1 more time. And then with the exhale, hinge forward again and stay forward this time. Right hand to the floor inside your left leg, pull the left hip back, lift your left shoulder. This is good enough. And breathe into the stretch. If you want to go deeper, you can bring that right elbow down toward the floor. Deeper still, maybe bring the right hand to the outside edge of the left foot. And you can use that grip to bring your torso further forward, lift that left shoulder higher, and just keep breathing here. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale, release both hands down around that left leg. Set your left foot flat. Tuck the toes of the right foot, lift your right knee back to low lunge. Now from your low lunge into side plank, right hand's your base. Roll to the outside edge of the right foot, slide your left foot back. And take the version here that works. You can keep a foot down or a knee down or stack your legs. Hips up high, left arm high, hold your balance. And if you want to go further with this, maybe lift your left leg, maybe hold your left knee, or maybe take hold of the left big toe and extend that leg further up. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale, left hand forward, left foot steps forward. Bring the right foot forward next to left forward fold. When you're ready here, take an inhale, lift it up halfway. And then with the exhale, set the hands. Let's take that flattened crow. So the hands are shoulder width. Grip the floor with your fingers. Bring your heels up. Knees go outside the arms. Now squeeze your legs in. Start to look forward. Bring the shoulders forward and lean. And if you're going to balance it, keep leaning so that the feet lift, big toes to touch. Now see about squeezing those legs in tighter. Bring the hips up and down. And just take it as far as you like. Maybe take a higher position and take your vinyasa whenever you're ready. Once you find your down dog, give it a moment, paddle out. Now from your down dog, let's take half pigeon. With an inhale, raise the right leg high behind you. And then with the exhale, bring it forward. Right knee behind the right wrist, right ankle somewhere behind the left. Now, bring the left knee down, flatten the left foot, and then pull your left hip forward. Keep it in line with the right. Sink your weight straight down and look for at least some of that stretch on the outer right hip and toward the glutes. Now keep your hips squared, keep your gaze forward here to start. Now maybe you stay here, you can keep your spine expanded, you can always go deeper if you want to back bend. And if you want to melt down completely, feel free. Now if you want to take this a little bit differently today, I'm going to cue this toward a twist. So if you're interested in that, just keep your spine extended like this. And then bring the left hand just inside the right. Back the right hand up to the right knee or maybe to the right hip. Now pull the right shoulder back, look to the right side, try to look toward the back of the mat, and keep your left hip pulling forward, both hips sinking down. Now if you want to engage this further, you can tuck the toes of your left foot. Maybe just hover your left knee, but keep that left hip sinking low, keep your hips squared. And if you want to go further still, you can bend the left knee. And if you bring that left foot high enough, maybe reach with the right hand, take hold of it, and then pull that left heel in close to help deepen your twist. But keep breathing here, keep your hips low. Now slowly, if you move into the twist, go ahead and turn your torso back to center. If the hands are forward, walk them in close. And we'll take the other side. So once you're ready, tuck the toes of your left foot, release your right leg, go ahead and shake it out. And then once the right foot's down, inhale the left leg high when you're ready. And with the exhale, bring that leg forward, left knee behind your left wrist, left ankle somewhere behind the right. Right knee down, flatten the right foot, pull the right hip forward, sink your hips straight down, look for at least some of that stretch on the outer left hip. And maybe just stay here. Now you can go deeper into one of the back bends if you want to take it there. You can always melt down. And if you want to take the twist, just keep your hips squared, stay lifted. Bring the right hand just inside the left. And back up your left hand to the knee, to the hip. Draw the left shoulder back. Try to look toward the back of the mat. This is plenty. And if you want to take that further, you can tuck the toes of the right foot. Maybe just hover the right knee, but still keep your hips squared and sinking down. Now if you want to go further yet, you can bend the right knee, lift the right foot. Maybe take hold of that foot with your left hand. And pull the heel in closer, but use this to deepen your twist. Keep your hips low and keep your chest open to the left side as much as you can. All right, if you moved into the twist, go ahead and square things back to center. If your hands are forward, walk them back in. And then once you're ready, tuck the toes of the right foot, release your left leg this time, shake it out. And then once you set your left foot down, bring your knees to the floor, take a seat. So this is where we take it into Firefly here. I'm going to walk through a demonstration very quickly, and then we can all do this together. And if you want to go through this both times, or if you know the pose, feel free. There's other entries to this. You're welcome to play around. But otherwise, this is the easiest way I know to go into the pose. So this is going to start from a wide-legged forward fold. And keep in mind, the whole point is to just get as close as you can. So you start this with the feet wide, wider than your hips, heels in, toes out, stay loose and keep your knees bent. So your hips stay high, your head stays low. Now to come into this, to deepen the fold, you're going to walk your hands between your legs and pay attention that your fingertips stay pointed forward, or if you need to back off through your wrists, you can always rotate 90 degrees to the side, right or left. Try not to go any further back than that. So when you're ready, you walk your hands all the way back, Use your hands to pull your torso down low between your thighs. You're trying to get the shoulders between your knees or get as close as you can. Once you're ready, just look straight down, and then all at once, set your palms, bend the elbows, sit on your arms, and squeeze the knees in toward your shoulders. Use your inner thighs. Your chest should be facing down. You should basically be sitting on your arms. Try not to sit this upright. Now, if you're not sitting on the floor, you got two options here. You can bring this into the arm pressure pose. For that, you bring your feet together, hooking at the ankles. Use that hook to squeeze the legs in and keep yourself up. And if you want to take it toward Firefly, it's the same engagement with the inner thigh squeezing in, but without the hook. You point your toes forward and just try to straighten your legs as best you can. Don't worry about being perfect. It took me about 3 years to actually be able to straighten that out. So just work it as best you can. So let's bring this into the wide-legged forward fold. So feet wider than your hips, hips high, head low, heels in and toes out. Keep your knees bent at least a little bit. Now again, fingertips forward or to the sides 90 degrees. Try not to go further. But start to walk your hands between your legs and use your hands to pull your torso down between your thighs. Get as low as you can. Now when you can't fold any deeper, just look straight down. All at once, set your palms, bend the elbows, sit on your arms, and squeeze the knees in. Now, if you're sitting on the floor, you basically got to do it again. But if you can still move here, if your butt's still lifted, see about bringing the feet towards center. If you want the arm pressure pose, just hook at the ankles. Use that hook to squeeze the legs in. And if you want to take it to Firefly, still stay folded, but without the hook. Point the toes forward, keep your legs squeezing in, and just take this to where you can. And keep in mind, the larger purpose of that is just to get deeper into the hips and the hamstrings. So get as close as you can. And you're welcome to play around with that further if you like. But otherwise, come down onto your back. And then when you're down, just pull your knees into your chest and squeeze things in for a moment here. Now when you're ready, go ahead, release that grip, bring your feet to the floor. And we're just going to take this into one long round of back bending. So I'm going to start the cueing as bridge and then lead to wheel. You can stay in bridge the whole time, and you can take wheel from the beginning if you prefer. But either way, feet and knees about hips width distance apart to set this up. Bring the heels in close so you can flatten your low back as much as possible. Now arms at your sides, palms down, just keep your gaze high. When you're ready, with an inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips, squeeze your glutes, and that's good enough. So keep the tension lift, keep the hips lifting, keep the glutes squeezing. But if you want to take your bridge further, you can bring your hands together underneath your hips, and then maybe pull the palms together, maybe work your shoulders further behind your back to open your chest even more, still with the hips pressing high. And if you want to take your bridge further still, if you got the reach, you can hold onto your ankles and use that grip to press your hips up higher and open your chest up further still. Keep your glutes squeezing, keep the tension. Now, if you want to go from bridge to wheel, keep your hips lifted, but release your hands. So it's hands around your head, palms to the floor, fingertips toward your shoulders, elbows high. When you're ready, press into your palms, maybe just lift to the top of your head first. And then whenever you're ready, straighten your arms. So it's hips toward the ceiling, chest toward the back wall. Keep your glutes squeezing, and just keep breathing here. You can always lift your heels if you need to release your low back, keep in mind. But hold the tension of the lift. When you're ready, take an inhale. And then with the exhale, bring everything back down. Now, once you're down, draw your knees back into your chest, squeeze it all in. And then we'll take this to a supine twist variation. So release your left leg, extend it out fully. And then bring the left hand to the right knee, reach your right arm out to the side. And draw the right knee across your body, tuck the left hip underneath you. Keep both shoulders down. Now bring your gaze over to the right and just feel that twist, feel the stretch, outer right hip toward your low back. Now if you want to take it further, you can press down with your left hand. Further still, go ahead, extend the right leg out to the side, but just take it to where you need to. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale, bring this back into center. Draw both knees into your chest. And then when you're ready, go ahead, switch it out. Extend the right leg. Right hand to your left knee, left arm to the side. Now draw the left knee across your body, tuck your right hip underneath it, keep both shoulders down. Bring your gaze left this time. Now look for the stretch in the outer left hip toward your low back on this side. If you need more, maybe press with the right hand. And maybe extend your left leg further out if you want to go there. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale, just bring this back into center. Draw both knees in. And then let's take it to happy baby. So once you're ready, go ahead and reach between the knees. Take hold of the outside edges of your feet. Stack your ankles above your knees. And draw down on both sides. So try to press the knees to the floor outside your ribs, but press your feet back up into your hands at the same time. Keep the tension working both up and down. Now try to flatten your spine, stick your tailbone toward the floor, but if you want to take it further, you can rock this a little bit side to side. And if you want to take it further still, you can extend your legs out against your grip. And then finally, from wherever you are, take a deep inhale here. Draw down as much as you can. With the exhale, just release. Extend your legs out fully. Lay your arms at your sides. Open your palms toward the ceiling. And just let your eyes close here. Let your body sink down into the mat. Now when you're ready here, just start to move again, bit by bit, fingers and toes, arms and legs. Take a deep inhale, extend your arms out long past your head. And then pull things back in, bring the elbows toward your chest, draw your knees up as well. And just take your time, find your way up to a comfortable seat. Now go ahead, ground yourself into the mat, stack your spine. Bring your hands up to heart center. And then take a deep inhale here. Hold on to at the top. And just let everything go. Thank you for joining me for class. Namaste.